So common myth number 3 is that I have to create a group program or a workshop. I have to create a group program or a workshop. So I was totally believing this, and just about everyone that comes to us has some idea of this group program or this workshop that they want to put together, and they're so excited about it because they've got this amazing content, this amazing message that they want to get out to the world. So we totally get it. We get that the dream is, being And that's the appeal of doing a workshop or a program, is you get your message out to a lot of people and you get paid multiple ways. I guess the reality is that this is often what the rooms look like. So many times we go to create that workshop or we go to fill that group coaching program, and this is what ends up happening. We're standing in front of an empty room, or maybe there's several people there, and it's nothing like we thought it was going to be. And we see this happen all the time. And we've had it happen. So I'm not saying we're beyond this. We've actually had the situation where we put this amazing program together and then nobody shows up. So it's not just you. This is the nature, I think, of business today. It is not easy to fill a room. It's not impossible, but it's not easy. And there's so many things that go into filling a room, and you might be aware that we do live events, and we've done live events for everything from 10 to 75 people, and we know the work that's involved in getting those bodies in the room. It's not easy to do. So we met a woman in San Diego, and I don't know if you know who Monica is, but Monica owns a coaching business that is now doing about $700,000 a year, so she's been very successful. But when we met her, she was sharing the story of the beginning of her business. And the beginning of her business was so much like the beginning of mine. I completely resonated with her story because she talked about the struggle that she had. And I want to share it with you because I think it's going to highlight what it is we're talking about here. She was talking about the fact that she lived in New York City and when she was starting her business, and because she didn't know how to sell what she was doing, or she was reluctant to sell what she was doing, she would rent out her apartment, because property in New York City obviously is a hot commodity, and she would go stay with friends and family and sleep on their couch so that she could rent out her apartment and make money. So she would, and so that she didn't wear out her welcome, she would stay with this friend for 3 days and this friend for 4 days and then bounce to somebody else's house. And she talked about every time she moved, from house to house, she had to carry all her bags with her because she had her clothes and her food and her laptop and her files for her business and all this type of stuff. And as she talked about it, she kind of, she was weighed down, and you could feel this weight of this poor girl going from house to house. So that she could just earn enough money renting her apartment in order to sustain herself. So then her story, in my opinion, it got worse. She said, and then because I felt obligated to these friends and family I was staying with, I would start doing errands for them, and I would start doing chores for them. I would clean up their kitchen and make them meals and walk their dog. And immediately I had this thought, if she's walking other people's dogs in New York City, then you know what that means she is doing, right? She's picking up her friend's dog's shit. And I hate to be vulgar, but that is what it comes down to. You don't walk a dog in a city without picking up its poop, right? So I had that horrible feeling. I don't even own a dog because of that reason. And I thought, oh my God, this girl was so resistant to selling and so lost and confused about how to build her business. She would rather pick up her friend's dog poop than she would sell what she does. So she talked about that, and she talked about how she was doing things that didn't really make sense now that she looks back at them. She said, I was writing a book when I couldn't afford to buy groceries. And when I heard that, I said, yep, been there, done that. She said, I spent months launching a product with a membership and only sold 6, and I've been there before as well. Wrong time, wrong order. That's what she said, wrong time, wrong order. So it's not that you don't ever want to create a group program or create a workshop that you sell a bunch of people into. It's just if you do it at the wrong time or you do it in the wrong order, that's what can have you stuck in your business. So what we'd like to share with you instead is a model that will show you the right time, right order for how you do these things. So let me share this with you, and then I'll bring it up on the screen, and then I'll take you through it step by step in case you want to write it down. So basically, this might look familiar to some of you. Sometimes it's upside down, and it's considered to be a marketing funnel. But we consider this the building blocks or the building model for building a coaching and consulting business. So you start with the free offer, and you might be very aware of that. You might have that on your website. So whenever you do lead generation and you bring people into your business, that would be at the bottom of this triangle. You offer a free offer to them. Maybe it's a free report or free audio. Maybe it's a free one-on-one consultation with you. And then from that point, you move them onto a low-priced product. And the low-priced product is very often, you know, $29, $49, $97. I'm sure you've been on the websites that have that introductory offer. From there, you move up to the signature system. And this signature system is usually the system by which you help your clients get results. So maybe you have a 5-step system that you take clients through. Chris and I, we have a 9-step system, or 9 modules. It's called the Income 180 system. And it's step by step what it was that we did that turned around our income in 90 days. And it's the same 9 steps that we take our clients through that helps them turn around their income in 90 days. So we were teaching it to them. We packaged it into this, you know, 9 CD system, and then we can sell that ongoingly. A group program would be any time you assemble a group of people together and those people are paying you to deliver information. So it could be a workshop, it could be a retreat, a mastermind group, a paid webinar. Anytime you put a group together and those people are paying to be in that program with another group of people, you've got a group program. And then at the top of the model, you've got your one-on-one clients. That is clients that you're actively engaged with. You're working with them one-on-one. It takes your time, your energy to work with them, be in front of them, whether it's in person or on the phone or Skype or something like that. So these probably sound familiar to you. And the great thing about this model is that there's multiple streams of income included in this model. So at the top, you've got something called active income, meaning one-on-one clients, you're actively engaged with them. It takes your time and energy. With group programs, you've got something called leveraged income. And leveraged income, again, is a group of people paying you for that one weekend, that 1 hour, that one whatever. So you've leveraged yourself and increased your income. And then when you look at the signature system and the low-price product, I always say, the holy grail of passive income. So many of us go into business and we think we'll create some sort of product or program and then we'll put it on our website and a ton of people will come and buy it, and then we'll be able to sit on a beach somewhere and listen to our laptop ringing, or, you know, the whole make money while you sleep kind of thing. And I admit I fell in love with that as well. As soon as I learned about passive income, that was kind of the dream. So not poo-pooing it. It's a wonderful thing. But here's the challenge. Remember what Monica said, wrong time, wrong order. what we see happen is that people go to build this model in the way that I just described it to you. So they go to build it from the bottom up. They see how it's done, other people have done it, so they create their free offer, then they try and work on a low-price product, then their system, then a group program, etc. The problem is the lower parts of this model take so long to build that people go broke trying to put them in place. So let me just give you a real quick example of something like a low-priced product. Like, let's say you have a product that you're going to sell for $49. In order to make, let me do the math and make it easy. In order to make $5,000, you would have to have, am I right, 100 people? Okay, thank you. It's hard to do math when you're focused on your on the conversation. So you'd have to have 100 people buy your $49 product in order to make $5,000. To get 100 people to buy a product, you've either got to be in front of an audience of, let's say, 400 people with a 25% close ratio, which is really good, or you've got to drive enough people to your website to get them to opt in for the free offer, and then a smaller percentage takes advantage of that product. You've got to get enough people to your website and through that funnel to buy that product to make that $5,000. Plus, we didn't even talk about the time it takes to produce the product, right, and actually create it. Whereas what we recommend people do and what we teach our clients to do is go right from your lead generation, whether it's networking, speaking, whatever it is, Facebook ads, etc., to take them right to being a one-on-one client. So we recommend, not that we don't say have a free offer on your website, because I do think it's important to collect leads of anybody that comes to your website. So we recommend that people put a free offer in place and then immediately offer people a consultation for your one-on-one services. And there's a reason we encourage that. Because active income, working with one-on-one clients, has inherent benefits in it. The first benefit is that's where your higher price points are, okay? So as a coach or a consultant, you could get a client, and I'm just going to throw a number out there. You could charge them $5,000 for 6 months of coaching, okay, or $3,000 for 6 months of coaching, whatever number you want to put out there. That's one client that's going to pay you $3,000 to $5,000. Remember how many people it would take to make $3,000 to $5,000 if you were just selling that low-priced product. The other advantage is that working with clients one-on-one gives you the content to create the other parts of the model. So when you want to create that group program and you want it to be really good and change people's lives and have people excited to be in it, you have to actually know what your target market wants. And you don't really know what you have as far as valuable content, life-changing processes, etc., until you've used them with people. What we find is that when we work with our clients one-on-one, they tell us exactly what they need and exactly what they want. And then if we go and create that, then people buy. It's like we created exactly what they were asking for. So it makes creating these other parts of your model much easier to do. And then the third reason is because active clients are as close as picking up the phone. So as close as picking up the phone. If you are going to sell a product or a system on your website, when you think of the things you have to have in place to make that happen, a shopping cart system, you have to have the product created, you have to have a fulfillment house created if it's a physical product, you have to have, if it's not, you have to have a website for people to download it. Then you've got the follow-up autoresponder, so you need an email system. When you think of all the things you need to have in place just to sell one low-priced product, there's so many more steps to do. And most of us, I have found, are not experts in those steps. So that means now outsourcing to somebody who does know how to do it, versus a one-on-one client can be found as easily as picking up the phone and calling a lead you already have. Or if you happen to be one of those people that doesn't have a lead, it's as easy as going to a networking event, meeting someone, and then having that consultation, and then getting a one-on-one client. So here's the challenge. So if clients are that easy to get, right, if it's as close as picking up the phone, what's the problem? The problem is that most of us have something like this in our office at home. Maybe yours doesn't look like this pile of business cards. Maybe yours isn't that messy. Maybe yours looks more like this. And the reason I know this exists is because I have my own pile of cards on my desk too. Now, I had cards for years of leads, warm leads, potential leads, past clients that I could have called, and they just sat there. So that's call reluctance, which is something Chris and I talk about. So whether your stack is messy or whether your stack is neat, that is where your next client is. It's already sitting there. You don't have to do some newfangled thing on the internet. You don't have to do Facebook ads. You don't have to figure out the LinkedIn strategy to get clients. You likely have business sitting right there on your desk. So before I hand this over to Chris for the common myth number 2, what I'd like you to do is just on your paper, if you're taking notes, just write a list of 3 to 5 names of people who you know could use your products or services. And they're likely, like I said, already sitting on your desk. You just haven't called them. So go ahead and do that now while I hand this over to Chris. Write the names of 3 to 5 people who could use your services.